Good morning, Eddie G's Music World. It's been a few weeks. I've had a little quiet summer. A couple of videos been done. There's been quiet times and computer changes and all kinds of stuff. This week, I'm going to discuss the top 40 from November 4th, 1989. It's because I happen to have some chart photocopies. Now, I did think of this because another guy did it, and I kind of felt like doing the same thing because it seems like a good idea for a show. Now, let's see if I can do what he did, which is show you the song. Should I bother, or maybe it's just a little hard to do it exactly? You know what? I'll just tell you the top 40. I don't know if I have to actually show it to you. Most of you who are interested enough to be on the listening to the show already know. Okay, at number 40 of this week, November 4th, 1989, looking back, Don't Ask Me Why by the Eurythmics. Now, that week it had risen to number 40. Um, the week before it was number 47, so it was on the way up. Here's another song on the way up from number 48 to number 39 that week. Don't Make Me Over, Sybil. Now, this is like a very distant memory, Sybil. I'll have to go check that out, but I'm pretty sure I know that song. Then the next one was one of Madonna's great songs called Cherish, chiming in at number 38, having fallen from number 23. The next one that we're going to look at is number 37, which the song fell from 27 to 37. If I Could Turn Back Time, Share, which sold 1 million copies. They didn't have, he didn't say peak position back then. Um, anyway, it was on its way down because, of course, that was a pretty big hit. Heaven at number 36, falling, sold 1 million copies back before downloading was a big deal. And the band is Warrant. We already know Warrant. Well, they had a bit of a sad ending with Jenny Lane passing and somebody else replacing him, and I'm not sure how that's going. But next, With Every Beat of My Heart, Taylor Dane at number 35 from 46. So it's on the way up. That ended up being a top five or so song. So Taylor Dane doing quite well back in the late 80s. It was a good, energetic time for her. Mixed Emotions, Great Stones song, number 34. It was the week before, number 18. So it's on the way down, but that was a good song. Sugar Daddy, you know what? I know the Thompson Twins, but I don't know that song. It was number 33 that week, having moved up. Moved up 4 positions from 37. Next, Bon Jovi, one of his great songs, Living in Sin. That was on the move from 39 to 32, going up. Girl, I'm Gonna Miss You, Milli Vanilli, sold 1 million copies. Number 31 that week. We all know the story about those guys. I don't know if I have to really repeat it. Not really their fault. They said, here's some money, act like you're singing the song and dance until they got caught. And these guys they were starving artists. What do you expect? They're going to take the money. Uh, Let me see. Where was I? Okay. Belinda Carlisle, Leave a Light on It, number 30 this week, November 4th, 1989. Leave a Light On. This must have been one of her lesser known songs because it it moved up from 36 to 30. So it was a hit, but I just don't remember the song that well. Number 29 on Eddie G's Music World's countdown of the top 40. Me So Horny, a word that I never thought I'd see on a Billboard chart, but hey, the Two Live Crew did it. I think it was Luke. I don't remember his second name right now, but he worked damn hard to get those songs on the radio, and I heard he would drive around delivering copies to the record stores himself. Like, worked hard. Don't know what happened to him after that. Luke something. But anyway, Two Live Crew had a big song with that. Here's one means absolutely nothing to me. I can't believe I don't know who this is or what the song is like. Don't Shut Me Out at number 28, moving up from 31. Then the artist is Kevin Page. Wow. Anybody knows that? Maybe, hold on, maybe I'll just send this out to some of the people that follow me, which we'll see. And that way, top 40 November 4, 1989 discussion. Yeah, maybe. I think one person was looking at me. That's okay. Okay, back to the drawing board of discussing the songs. I think the last one was Don't Shut Me Out. Okay, so we're at Don't Know Much. Linda Ronstadt featuring Aaron Neville. Quite a nice ballad. I read that I saw in another video that those two actually dated, and that was a good ballad, I guess. Good duo. Another a great metal song is coming up at number 26, moving up from 32. Don't Close Your Eyes by Kix. I bought the cassette back in the day, so it was a kind of a rock ballad type of thing. Here's a guy that was one of these types that was like a muscle bound Harlequin Romance cover looking guy, Dino. His song was Sunshine. I barely remember that, but I remember Dino. He might have had another hit. I'm not sure. I see a heart on my chats thing. I don't know who that's from. Anyway, next up, going up, a very big 80s artist who kind of drifted off in the early 90s because of, well, she had a bus accident and broke her back a few times and had some health issues. So it's Gloria Estefan without the sound machine. Get on Your Feet, a very catchy pop song. That one I do know quite well. That was moving up from 29. Number 23, when I looked at him, Expose. I do know Expose, but when I looked at him, can't say it means a lot to me as far as the title goes. Now, this group was this has to be the Cure's biggest song at number 22. It's called Love Song. That one is well known. The Cure, I've always been tempted to go see them. They have been here recently in my town of Montreal. I've had a dozen chances to go get down there and see them, but for whatever reason, I did not see them. Life goes on. I still have another chance, but I don't know if I'm going to be really running to see them. Okay, number 21, moving up from 28 that week, is what became a number one song for Billy Joel. We Didn't Start the Fire. I actually did a description video on YouTube where I discuss the meaning of that song. Here's a guy, that's the last album he recorded. He's smart because he figures, I don't think people are interested in my new music. It's probably true. So I'll just keep rolling out tours and shows on my old stuff. Why not? What do I care? Okay, another big hit at number 20. We're halfway through the top 40, so got a ways to go. Back to Life, Soul to Soul, featuring Karen Wheeler. Well, I remember Soul to Soul. I don't remember them like putting the name Karen Wheeler in there, but now I learned something new. So that was a really big hip hop song, really popular. Next, as we make our way to the end of the top 40 that week, number 19, having been at number 7 the week before, It's No Crime by Babyface. Babyface has been involved in a couple of allegations of doing a little things here and there. I don't want to mention it, but there was some documentary about him having been a little rough with a couple of ladies. I'm not going to get too deep into the woods. I don't care. I mean, if he wants to sue me, I guess it's fine. Um, Here's a group where a member passed away in the last year. Poco, 18, number 18, dropping from 19 the week before. Or no, rising up, but without a bullet. Call It Love. Very, very, very nice ballad. You should check it out sometime. Okay, next. This is like the last hit. I'm almost sure for Alice Cooper. I maybe get another one after that, but it's called Poison. It was produced by the guy who did a lot of work for Bon Jovi. It was co-written. Let's get my magnifying glass out for my fading eyes. Desmond Child, yeah, that's he did some work with. He wrote it and produced it with other people, Alice Cooper and McMurray. So Desmond Child did a lot of work with Bon Jovi, so that's a big hit for him. Next is another great song by a guy I saw live too. Well, I saw Alice Cooper as well. Angelia, Where You're Running to Now. Very pretty song by Richard Marx. Richard Marx is pretty out there on Twitter arguing with people about music and politics. I tried like 30 times to get a reaction out of him with nice things that I said, but I think he had his account set on ignore unless he knew the people or whatever, because he never acknowledged any of those comments. But it was a good song. The Best by Tina Turner. Well, that's number 15, having been number 17. Of course, we just lost Tina not too long ago. Seems like a lot of these people are passing away. That definitely ended up in the top 10. I think I know this song too. Elton John, Healing Hands. Yeah, I do remember that. Healing Hands, number 14. It was 13 the week before, so it's slipping at this point. Of course, written by Bernie and Elton. What else is new? 13. New Kids on the Block. I guess they were still around. I mean, they're still around now, but I mean, they were still had new songs coming up back then. I think that was this. Didn't they the style? Who did the original? Not Stylistics. See the mind starting to go, but it was a cover by somebody that had a hit with it. I can't believe I can't remember the name of the group. So we're closing in the top 10 for that week. Number 12, Blame It on the Rain, another great song by Milli Vanilli. So they had two songs that week. That's unbelievable. And that came crashing to an end. I remember buying the cassette. I mean, I was all in for these guys. But look, it happened. One of them killed himself. The other one is doing something. He's in music, but I mean, he's not like big time at this point. Now, this was a major hit. Young MC, Bust a Move at number 11. It sold 1 million copies, which is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. But the poor man, not poor man, but I don't know, he didn't seem to follow it up with anything memorable. Now, this was the next song, number 10, with a bullet. A group I kind of saw live, but not really. They were just free show and the jazz festival. B-52's The Love Shack. And Don Was produced it, and he's well known in the music industry. I'm pretty sure that's the biggest hit. Paula Abdul, It's Just the Way That You Love Me. Now, that doesn't stand out in my mind. I probably heard it on 10, 20 times, but I mean, I just can't place the melody in my head. And she had a great few years there, and then of course American Idol judge. We all know she's still around. Now next is I didn't know this song got that big. It was at least as high as number 6. a group that's majorly in the news about a member leaving and they starting touring and all kinds of things. It's Motley Crue and Dr. Feelgood. Mick Mars co-wrote it with Nikki Sixx. Bob Rock produced it, Canadian. He was in the group The Payolas. And so that they weren't known for their hit single because they had very very racy song titles, and this song Dr. Feelgood's about drug addiction. So you know, can you imagine? I don't know how it got played that much, but it did. Ellie Reid and Babyface, another song produced by these people, plus Dee Simmons co-wrote it. Bobby Brown, Rock with Ya. That was when Bobby was really in the swing of things. You know, he had a good 3 years of solo work, and he that was one of his bigger hits. But the song is not the one I recognize the most. He did other ones that are more popular. Here's another group. We were closing on number one. Wow. Number 6. They are a band that if you want to go see them live, you better get ready to fish out $600-700 a seat. They're farewelling, they did a residency, and now their songs are on commercials and whatever. They're still popular. Aerosmith with "Love in an Elevator." I hear it on the radio still. Okay, so that was them. They're coming to my being a big farewell tour, but man, those seats are expensive. I'm not going to go. When I See You Smile by Bad English, now written by Diane Warren. She wrote a lot of songs, like the Titanic song or whatever. She wrote a lot of songs, a lot of hit songs. This was made up of members from, at least, let me see if I can remember, the Babies, which was what's his name? John Waite, and other people in other bands. I just don't remember the exact names of all these other people. So Bad English, that was a number one song. It was around the time my nephew was born. Sowing the Seeds of Love, that got to number 2. This was number 4 this week. Obviously, Tears for Fears. They reformed. They've come here a couple of times in the last few years. But the problem is it's always far away, or it's in the middle of a crisis I have to deal with. And then I broke up with a girl once the week of one of their shows in the 80s, so I've never seen them live. Kurt Smith and Orzabal, I forget his first name, but they produced it and they co-wrote it together. Now, here's a woman that ruled the charts in this time frame, the 80s, a little bit in the 90s too, is Janet Jackson, who I briefly did meet, but I didn't talk to because her mother was very protective. She didn't really want me to go near her, so I didn't. So Janet Jackson, Miss You Much, which went on, that was a former number 1, and she had 10 number 1. So can you imagine? Now here again, New Kids on the Block, number 2 with Cover Girl. Or whatever. I don't know. I can't sing, but yeah, that was their peak time. They were really cranking out hits, and here's a group that had about 3 number 1 hits. I did see them live. Unfortunately, one of the female singer in Roxette, it's Roxette and Listen to Your Heart. She passed away recently, and not that long ago, at least, and really good live. I mean, they held their own. She sings beautifully, and the other guy too. So basically, I've gotten to the end of the top 40 for November 4th, 1989. I really hope somebody likes this. I think it's reasonably good. So enjoy your day and take care.